Ooh.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, I'm Roshni, and I made
One of these times we're going to get it right. What are we doing?
We shoot from the hip flask.
Nailed it.
Okay, Debbie, you sound like you're in like some great big empty room. What on earth?
I kind of am. I'm in my hallway. And I chose to come in the hallway this time. So normally I sit in the dining room, where all my bottles and everything like that are. So I've got easy access. But this time around, I've decided to come into the hallway, and that's because not only is it completely freshly redecorated, so it looks beautiful, but I've just put up the Christmas tree. So I thought I'd get in the festive mood and come and sit by it.
I have no Christmas behind me. There is Christmas in the main house, but I sit in the garage. Well, the converted garage. It's no longer a garage. It resembles nothing that a garage used to resemble. So I haven't yet brought Christmas in here because it's hard enough work, I think, to put Christmas in the main house.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It still takes me about 2 weeks to actually get everything up. So
But your Christmas tree is immense.
it is. It is an absolute beauty. It's a 10-footer, Rosh. 10-footer.
And have you gone frugal with the decorations, or have you splurged and like?
Do you know what we have? No, it's kind of, so we only got this tree last year. So we have a little tradition. I don't know whether you hold the same one. Most people do, where you add to your decorations by one every year. And that's like your little splurge, is that you add something every year. Can come from anywhere. You can get it at any point throughout the year, but you add one. Last year it was the actual tree itself. So we decided that was the thing. So this year, literally, again, we've just added one.
That's so cute. I mean, we do the same. We add one. And you wouldn't let me talk about my Christmas decoration.
You can talk.
I didn't bring it with me.
Oh,
Debbie wanted would only let me talk about my Christmas decoration if it was penguin related or resembled my cocktail shaker. No, we've shown
very true.
Have we shown people my cocktail shaker on here?
Do you know what? I think it came out at the after party last time. I think the first time that we put a podcast together, we were so relieved after we stopped recording that we stayed on for like another 2 hours or something, just chatting and catching up.
Well, and I appreciate that not everyone is going to watch us and people listen to us, or we think people listen to us. So if you're not watching us, you can't see, but I'll try and pop up what cocktail shaker I have. It's a secondhand cocktail shaker. I bought it from an antique shop, and it's a little bit special, isn't it?
That's definitely a way to describe it. Yeah.
So I'll try and pop up a picture on the Shoot from the Hip Flask Instagram, because quite honestly, it doesn't belong on my main Instagram. That would be potentially offensive. I don't know. Is it offensive? I don't know.
Oh, just call it fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's quirky. It's fun. So anyway, my new Christmas decoration is a frosted martini glass with green pearl olives in it, which I love, but clearly didn't make the Debbie cut.
No, it's gorgeous, but it would last about 3 seconds in this household with kids, dogs, puppy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely no glass in the bottom half of the tree.
Speaking of dogs, guess what Penny has done today?
What's she done?
She has taken 2 bites out of the Christmas tree. and run around with the little because my Christmas tree isn't a real Christmas tree because I'm allergic. So we have plastic, reusable. Yeah.
Same
And
investment for forever.
yeah. So she's taken two chunks out of the two bottom branches and been running around with the little plastic end bit of a Christmas tree branch in her mouth. And it's taken a lot of treats to stop her from doing that because she could choke. But obviously then we're also conscious that we don't turn it into a game so that she doesn't keep doing that.
Yeah.
But she's never ever been interested in the Christmas tree. And all of a sudden she's taken two little bites out of it. Like, what?
Was that the branch that you put the martini glass on
No,
with the... No?
no,
Okay.
no. Maybe I should have. Maybe she wanted the olives.
Maybe. Oh, dearie me. Hey ho. So, topic for today, Rosh. We need to get chatting. And the reason we need to get chatting is we've got some tasting to do today.
We do. We spoke, if you listen to our last podcast, we talked about Debbie's memory of going to a Christmas market somewhere and having a white mulled wine. Mulled wine.
Yeah.
And I challenged Debbie to go and find a recipe for said white wine, mulled wine, but making it affordable. Earlier this week, we spotted that Helen McGinn, and if you don't know who Helen McGinn is, she is like the authority on things like wine and spirits and things like that. She's on Instagram. She's the knackered mother, and she's quite frequently. In fact, I think today she was on it. She's quite frequently on This Morning with Holly and Phil. She's also on Saturday Kitchen. And earlier this week, she talked about an affordable white wine from Tesco. Yeah. That is a Rioja. How do you say it? Say it.
Well, I say Rioja, but I have no idea whether that's right. I mean, it's my British weird, slightly northern, slightly southern accent, so I genuinely don't know. It's a bit like talking about moustaches. I just don't know which is the right pronunciation. Let's park that topic.
But we've each been to buy a couple of bottles of it. It's a £5 from Tesco, so it is affordable, and I'm pretty sure.
But that's surely that's like more than affordable, isn't it? I mean, a £5 for a bottle of wine, and especially
with my club card today, I got more off it. So I think I've only paid about £4.50 for this, maybe even £4.
So I paid even less than that, because if you bought 6 bottles of wine today, you got 25% off all of them.
Yeah, I didn't do the 6 bottles of wine. Maybe that might be a let's go tomorrow and buy that. So have you brought your opened bottle? I brought my own.
This is so this is the one that I've used.
So I've got the same. So for those who can't see us, it is Marqués de los Zancos.
Yeah.
It's a Blanco Rioja, whatever, however you say it. So it's Spanish. It's crisp and dry, using local Spanish grapes grown in the Rioja region. And then it says on the back, with elegant floral flavors enhanced by refreshing hints of citrus and tropical fruits. But if I just pull up Helen's review of it, this is what made us go to it, isn't it? Let me just find it, because I sent it you, didn't I, Debbie?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I mean, this was the first time that I'd ever actually heard of a Rioja available in a Blanco. I've
Yeah,
always associated Rioja with actually quite a deep, quite an
red.
intense red.
Yeah, absolutely. And she says it's new to the Tesco range. This is not an advert for Tesco, by the way. Debbie and I have both been to buy the bottles. New to the Tesco range, this looks more expensive than it is thanks to the supermarket label. Not the supermarket label. Sorry, I cannot read. This thanks to the super smart label. Usually for a wine from Spain's most famous winemaking region, this white Rioja hasn't been anywhere near an oak barrel. So it really is all about the fresh lemony flavors with a touch of green apple. Unbelievable value for the money. I would absolutely echo that. Unbelievable value for the money.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that it hasn't been near oak barrels is exactly like Helen said. It's very fresh. It doesn't feel like it's, I don't know, heavy or anything like that. But we picked it because of the lemon and the green apple, and the recipe that you sent me for
Yeah.
the white mulled wine used that lemon.
Yeah, yeah, it really does pick up on those flavors. So it's kind of like, right. So full disclosure, we did hedge our bets a little bit. And after exploring the revelation that there was such a thing as a Blanco Rioja available on the market, I was like, is this a thing? And so actually at the same time, I also sent Roshni out to go and buy another bottle. And that was because if I think about kind of like my day to day go to, in terms of red wine that I would drink at home, kind of my safety net is the arena called Malbec. I'm sure I'll be getting a lot of nods out there because it's just for me, again, a lot of people find like a Pinot Grigio is their white safe bet. For me, Malbec, in a red is what I would go to. And actually one of the brands that I would like have kind of every day at home is the Trevento, which I'm sure people are really familiar with. And actually it turned out that Tesco also do a white Malbec.
Yep, a white Malbec. And it's very light in color. I mean, I think
Very.
when I picked it up, I sent you a text, didn't I, and said it looks like water.
Yeah.
Are we sure that there's wine in this? Because it's that kind of light in color. Now, I haven't made my white mulled wine with the white Malbec.
No, me either. But that's what I'm going to do next, just so that I want to do a really good comparison to see whether there is a significant difference between the two. Because description-wise, this one has got aromas of cherry and raspberry and notes of green apple with fresh acidity. So I actually think it's going to be quite similar, even though a Rioja and Malbec are quite different things. Then, yeah, actually, the description itself on the bottle seems quite similar. So I'll be trying that out at a later date. Excuse me, but
say that, like with your recipe, and I haven't revealed it yet, so I'm going to leave that to you to kind of tell everyone what we've got in it. My kitchen smelt of Christmas. It really, really, really did, and I've got my Manchester Christmas Markets mug from 2017 with the snowman on it.
yeah,
to enjoy with my little sprig of rosemary. To enjoy my mulled wine from, and yes, it is rosemary in it. But that's all I'll tell you. I'm going to leave it to Debbie to tell you.
So I feel a little bit shown up now. Because the story that I shared last week and the whole memory around me having the white mulled wine, I told the story about the fact that it was so memorable to us because we'd never had it before. It was so good we bought the mug.
Yeah.
And I talked about it being a white frosted mug. And yeah, I can't find it.
You've let me down. So I've got it pulled out from the deepest, darkest depths of my kitchen cabinet, my 2017 Manchester Christmas Markets mug. Yeah. And you couldn't even find your special white wine mulled water.
No. No, but I swear it's here somewhere. I think it's in the loft, only because we do have a small selection of Christmas market mugs. I believe there's a train in there, a boot-shaped one. It's, there's a couple. There's even a Chocomel mug in there somewhere. But anyway, stories for another day. So it didn't.
Chocomel.
Yeah, they drink a lot of it over there. Yeah, hot chocolate.
Oh my God.
Wee little nip of amaretto or something in there. Lush.
No.
So instead, what I thought I would do is I would use a glass mug. And before you laugh at me or anybody that's actually watching this on video rather than audio, I know I said that I was going to do a white mulled wine. And this is clearly not white in colour. However, the wine, guaranteed, is definitely white.
What did I send you when it was brewing and the colour was changing in my pan? What did I send you as a text message, Debbie?
I know, but we've got the proof. We've got the proof, right? Because this is the wine, Rioja Blanco, right? That is what's in there. However, colour-wise, then let's reveal what it is. So the colour actually comes from the fact that there is fresh cranberry in the recipe. And that's the reason why, flavour profile-wise, we thought this would pair really well. So the green apple, in particular, with the cranberry and the freshness and the crispness and the fact that there's no kind of like barrel or anything cask anywhere near this, then we thought it'd go really well. So it's actually a relatively simple recipe. A lot of the ones that I actually looked up, they tended to add in like lots of other juices, or some I found even where they added cider as well, and I was kind of like, well, surely that's mulled cider. So I had a bit of a quandary about whether I should go down that route, because obviously a traditional mulled wine that's made with red would normally have orange juice in it, a bit like a hot sangria with some spices chucked in.
I have to admit, I was expecting there to be some juice in this, and there isn't. But my only thing is, I think to bring out the appleiness, I would add some apple slices.
Okay, yeah.
My head kind of thing, like not apple juice. I don't think it needs juice. But yeah, apple slices.
Yeah, and it felt kind of brave at the time using it as well, because I find that the white tends to have a lot more kind of like acidity associated with it. Then in my head, then I was adding sliced lemon, I was throwing cranberry in there. I was thinking, my gosh, is this just going to make me completely pucker as soon as I put it in my mouth, knowing that there's no other liquid in there other than the wine. But actually, I'm really pleased with how it came out. So the recipe that I found is not one that I've actually designed. It's one that I've actually found on the internet. And I actually found it on the Country Living website. And in essence, all that it has in it, it has dry white wine, fresh cranberries, honey, sliced lemon, rosemary, cinnamon, star anise, and cardamom pods. That's it.
No, which is Christmas, really.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And literally all of that just thrown in a pan, heated gently until the colour obviously starts to impart from the cranberry.
It became pink. So I said to Debbie, you promised me a white wine. Well, a white mulled wine is what I said. And you've given me a pink white mulled wine. So yeah, okay, but I haven't tried it yet. So I took it off the stove, put it straight in here. I think I wanted to try it with you. I haven't actually tasted it.
Amazing.
The thought of the apple slices came from the smell more than anything else. But I was like, I wanted that kind of, I don't know, a bit apple pie smell. If that makes any sense.
Oh, well, it really does, because of the cinnamon.
Exactly. But yeah. Well, have you tried it yet?
I have, only because I didn't want to come and make a podcast until I knew that I liked it. So the only thing that I changed very slightly in the recipe is, and this could be due to the nature of the wine that we've used, is I did up the honey quantity that was in there a little bit more than the original recipe. But other than that, everything else I've kept all the measurements the same.
And if you want, okay, actually, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it
Okay.
because I haven't tried it yet, and I'm gonna get rosemary sprig, going up my nose. You've gone with a slice of lemon. I've stuck a rosemary bush in mine. It's cooled down a bit because the temperature in here is a bit cool, so I can actually drink it rather than anything. But all their spices really come through.
Yeah, I'm surprised how well it holds up actually, and even the lemon really gives it a lift, even though it's only lemon slices. There's no actual juice or anything like that in there either.
No.
Yeah, it really does.
Kind of less boozy. Like sometimes when you have mulled wine, it's like overly boozy because they put brandy and all sorts in it. This isn't that.
No, it's not. It's not. It's actually really. I think what I'm surprised about the most is just almost how gentle it is, because, like I say, the one that I really remember having, it did feel a lot more intense, and it almost felt a lot more astringent because it was with white wine rather than red. So I was kind of expecting it to be perhaps overly sharp and that kind of thing, which is why I think I added a little bit extra honey in there just to kind of like soften the edges off. But the honey works really well because, I mean, honey and lemon, is there a better match?
Well, this is it. Yeah. Is there a better match? And actually, do you know what? I really quite like this. I would say that this could be with a bit of tweaking. Like you said, bit of extra honey, adding a few bits to it. I think it could actually be my go-to mulled wine recipe. I mean, and you could cut it with juice if you wanted to. Yeah, then
Yeah, you could do.
don't put all the honey in it. You could absolutely cut it with juice, and we can share the recipe as is on the Instagram grid, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Use that as the starting point, but it's one of those great drinks where you can test as you go along. So it's not like you've made it or you've put it in a cocktail shaker and then poured it out and you've got no idea whether you've got the levels right or not until you get to the end. You can literally just kind of try as you go. As soon as you've got it up to temperature, you can start taste testing at that moment, and just kind of tweak it there to your liking. But yeah, I was a bit dubious about the rosemary at first, only because it felt like there was a lot of spices going on in there. And again, rosemary wouldn't typically be in a red mulled wine. But actually, rosemary goes really well with cranberry. So,
and actually, I think because the wine that we picked hasn't been oaked, you need that kind of stronger woody herb. You know what I mean, for balance. So actually, it worked really, really well.
Yeah, it's nice to have a fresh one in there as well.
Yeah,
because obviously all the others are dried. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could absolutely put a splash of apple juice. I wouldn't put orange juice anywhere near it, but you could put a splash of apple juice. You could put a splash of cranberry. I'd stick to kind of those things. The most I think you could push out in is let me try and put my tongue back in my mouth. The most I think you could push the boundary with is maybe some pear juice if that's what you've got. Why you would have pear juice necessarily lying around, I have no idea. But that's where my brain went just now. So yeah, no, really good, really good shout, Deb.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it.
And would you do the same with the Malbec? Do you think the white Malbec? Would you use the same recipe?
So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. No, I haven't either. So I'll try some of it for, because I tried the Rioja first before actually heating it anyway, just so that I could get a feel for what the flavor profile of it was. I'll do the same with the White Malbec. And what I want to do is I'm probably going to use maybe half the bottle and do like a half measure, but I want to do it exactly the same as this one and actually just see how differently it comes out.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I mean, I know nothing about wine. Yeah, like absolutely nothing about wine because I don't drink a lot of it. Full disclosure, wine and I aren't really the best of friends sometimes. Um, I'm trying to get better with it, but um, yeah, I don't have the greatest of relationships with wine. How does the white compare to the red for you? Because you drink red wine. I do
I
not.
do.
I have red wine in very, very small doses because I'm allergic to the tannins. So
Mm,
I can have it as a float on top of a sour. I can have it, in sangria in small doses.
because they're
Um,
quite heavily juiced anyway, normally, aren't they,
yeah,
sangrias? Yeah.
exactly. And I can have it in like one mulled wine normally, and
Yeah.
that's where I stop. Um, so my experience of red wine is very, very limited.
hmm
So how does it compare?
So, it, in all honesty, for me, it's a brilliant crisp white wine. I mean, if anything, I'm kind of distracted by the fact that it is actually Rioja because in my head I want to go to red. So I don't think you could. So for example, what I haven't tried yet as well, actually, the same brand actually do a red Rioja as well. So
Hmm.
as part of my 6 bottles, I actually bought the red. So I might open that and have a little try of that later on as well and just see how that compares because I think that's probably the best comparison that I can make. But in terms of it's standalone as a white wine. It's absolutely brilliant and such an incredible value. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a fiver, and I definitely got less. I definitely paid less because of the club card. Um, and people were buying it. It wasn't like the shelf was full of them.
No,
You know?
well, I had to go back. The first time I went, the shelf was empty.
So it's clearly popular, and and I have no doubt it's because Helen's talked about it
Mm,
on her Instagram, because anything that she puts out tends to sell out. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, she is a good authority on stuff like this. So I'm glad we kind of tried and listened, and she might be kind of cringing, thinking, why the hell would you mull this? You know.
Quite
So
possibly.
we're really sorry, but we are wine novices here. Um, but it does work.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it very much. Maybe even a little bit too much. I'm halfway through my glass already.
I'm talking. I'm too busy talking rather than. I've had coffee today, Debbie. I've had two cups of coffee, and when I have coffee, I'm like bouncing.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I'm very glad that you like and you think that I've met the challenge. The challenge itself was to produce a mulled wine using white wine.
Yeah,
And one that's accessible and affordable too. So, what could be better than a bottle of wine that is costs a fiver and is available on the shelf in Tesco?
yeah. It's all about the pennies. I mean, I know that even for some people, that fiver on on a bottle of wine is a bit of a stretch at the minute, but in terms of how cheap can you go, I
hmm
don't I don't think we can find cheaper really.
I mean, other than getting pre-bottled mulled wine, the red variety is
Yeah.
is probably the only thing you're going to get sub £5. Yeah.
Well, I think even that's a fiver.
Probably. Bucks Fizz, maybe, because it's mostly fruit juice. I don't, there's
I
literally
did,
hardly anything at
you're
that
right.
price point.
You're right, because I did buy Bucks Fizz today, because I've got a friend now coming for Christmas Day, so I've bought 2 bottles of the blood orange and pomegranate Bucks Fizz from M&S and 2 bottles
Oh,
of the clementine and cranberry from M&S. So I have bought, and they were £3.
yeah.
Yeah, they were £3. But like you said, they're mostly juice.
I've got there. I tell you what I bought from M&S. I bought the Slow Fizz. Have you tried that?
No, so the Let It Slow, is that
Let It Slow, yeah.
I bought that last year. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's
Really
back on the
good.
shelves this year.
Oh, I need to go and pick some up. I bought, and shall we do another episode with like what we've bought off the shelves, like for
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
get
Let's
tell on this?
festive drinks. We'll do a festive drink edition.
Ready-made, sort of reasonably priced festive drinks.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I'm not going to line them all up because I may have drunk half of them by then, but if we regroup, like maybe next week or something, and we can talk about either stuff that we've bought and had, stuff that's, waiting for Christmas Day or the lead up to it, that kind of thing.
And if there's anything out there that you guys are trying and you guys are finding and you're finding is A, really tasty, B, worth the money, then, please drop us an Instagram, like put a comment on. We're going to start, we haven't done, and this is down to me and it's my fault, but we're going to start sharing little snippets of these podcasts on our grid. We haven't done yet. And, please comment and tell us like what you're finding out there, because we want to know. This is as much kind of an exploration for the both of us, outside of the world of gin, as it is just kind of chatting nonsense.
And on that note,
thank you. I will let you go because I could talk to you for hours, but yeah.
Oh, okay, so we're going to regroup. We're going to talk about festive drinks. If anybody's got any ideas or suggestions.
Wait, I forgot to ask the most important question. What did the bearded wonder think?
Oh, he hasn't tried it yet. So I'm trying to get off the chat. I want to go and see what he thinks. But I need to go hunt him down. He's busy doing tasks. So I will, when we do festive drinks, I will report back and let you know what the bearded wonder thought specifically of the white mulled wine.
He does need to, like, the beard needs to make an appearance at some point.
Yeah, I didn't want it to come like floating down the staircase though. That would be a little bit creepy.
That would be, no, that's a bit Addams Family. So no.
Yeah. And maybe next week, actually, I'll show you the advent calendar.
This is the one we talked about last week. Die Hard. Yeah. No, we're not going to start again because how long did it take us to upload last week's episode, Debbie? Because we couldn't stop talking.
Yeah, a day.
Because it took me ages to download it, and it took you ages to upload it. And that just proves we don't cut anything. Whatever you hear us say is exactly as we've recorded it. We're not chopping and cutting and anything. Editing is the word I was looking for. Are we? No.
Not at all. So I will see you next week then, Rosh, for another festive edition.
We've only got 2 weeks before Christmas, so we've got to get this one done next week.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. And then God knows what we're going to talk about, because then Christmas will be done.
Will it?
Oh my God.
2023.
Okay.
All right then, Rosh. Have a good evening. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait, I need to do that. Wait.
Oh, where's the jingle? Have we got a jingle?
Yeah, where is the jingle? Oh, here.
Powered by Riverside.
We got the Powered by Riverside.